Hey folks, how's it going? Right, forgive me, this is going to be quite a difficult video to make for many different reasons, but let's first of all deal with the reason why I'm making this video now and why I haven't made a video for a little while. I'm aware that there's been some new subscribers to the channel, and they might be thinking, crikey, it's a long time since you uploaded last, and that is true. It is a little while, but there's some very good reasons behind that. Right now I feel like the time when I was getting ready to open a bike park, it's like being taken right back to the beginning. We've got not only a new year coming up in a couple of weeks in 2020, but that signals a whole new decade, and there's going to be some change. Now, you'll forgive me and understand why I can't talk a lot about what's happening when you eventually do find out what's happening, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't make any sense, but if you were in my position, you wouldn't be able to talk much about it either. So you're probably well aware of where the bike park's up to now. I've done this on my own, built everything on my own, opened everything on my own, ran it on my own, and that's cool, and it's been really good to do, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. But at the same time, it's only so far you can take something by yourself. There's only so much you can do as one person, and I've probably achieved. I know I have achieved something that a lot of people told me was impossible. In fact, bar a couple of people, everybody told me it was impossible. When I told people I was going to be opening a bike park, they were like, yeah, right on. But here we are. I've done it and I've managed it. But as I say, there's only so far that I can take things by myself, and this isn't to say that I'm packing it in, not at all. What I'm getting at the moment is, because I can only do so much on my own, it's time to bring other people on board, and that's what's been going on at the moment, and that's why I've been really quiet on the vlogs, on these style of videos. And I suppose you'll have probably noticed that quieter on social media in general. I've just had a lot on my plate, so as it stands right now, I'm talking to some very, very important and very, very influential people about investment and working together. This is going to mean some really giant changes for the park. Everything about it will change for the better. It does not mean that I'll be stepping away from the park. I suppose I can say that it probably does mean that the name will change. I can't see. It's probably not going to be called Now Bike Park anymore. Just with the sorry, I've got to get out of this junction. Just with the importance of the people getting involved, and it's going to mean a lot of changes. I know that this video might sound like I'm rambling a bit, but I'm just trying to give as much of a heads up on the situation as I can possibly talk about. Just to give you some idea of what I'm dealing with here. There's things. Right, I've been up at that park for, like, let's say the past 5-6 years. There's things that I've wandered around in there and thought, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if we had this, or wouldn't it be amazing if we had that, or wouldn't it be awesome to put that here? And they're things that I could only really have dreamed of. And right now, the past couple of weeks and recent days, I've been having to go and actually price those things up and decide which of them I would put in first. I mean, these are like literally things that I could only ever have really dreamed about, or I have only ever really dreamed about. And more than that, there's stuff that I'm having to figure out and stuff I'm having to investigate. That's stuff I just never ever dreamed was possible, or I'd ever get the chance to do with the park. So we're talking, it's pretty serious. I mean, I find myself almost laughing here because it's like, this is crazy. It's a very, very strange situation to be in, one that I never expected myself to be in, and yeah, it does kind of feel like starting all over again ish, kind of, or adding to. Anyway, look, the point is, in the next, it's day after Boxing Day today, in the next couple of weeks, I might have to go down to London to meet with these guys, because frankly they're not in the country very often, so there's only a couple of dates that I can get a chance to meet up with them. So as you can imagine, all of my time is spent trying to, number one, get past the idea of, well, these things are impossible, why are you even thinking about them? I've got to put that aside and realise that, you know, right now they are possible. And not only that, I need to find out how much they cost, where we order them from, what teams we get in to build them, how we're going to do it, when we're going to build, what we're going to build first, how we're going to phase it in. Obviously it can't all be done at once, that's just impossible. And the other thing, you know, like about being on my own with this, I've got to think about who we're going to bring in for staff. There's so many levels to it, and it's such a dramatic change to what I'm used to, that it's taking some real hard work and thinking about just to adjust in myself. Yeah, I mean, that's the truth of it, is there's a lot of adjustment, because I've never ever thought that way. I've never thought, oh yeah, well, we'll just do this and we'll just do that. That's not been possible. But now those things are looking possible. I mean, the scale of the changes means that these kind of vlogs, and me doing these kind of vlogs, they might not even exist anymore. I don't know. The people that I'm talking to, and the people that I'm in negotiations with, they have a very, very professional media and marketing side of their business. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, Downer, I'm not going to get to make the videos anymore, because, man, I've seen the quality of stuff that they produce, and it's amazing, absolutely amazing, and you could only ever be happy about having your business represented in that way. I don't know, they might want me to do stuff still, I'm not sure. What it will mean is that, as much as the change that I'm talking about, it's it's still going to be me. I'm still going to be in charge of making these things happen, track design, etc, etc. Now, one of the changes I suppose we should talk about in track design is it may mean the introduction of a machine, and I've been very, very much on the side of hand-built trails, and probably that's what my style of building is best known for. If people think of my style of building, they probably do think of hand-built tracks. Now, this doesn't mean that I don't like hand-built tracks anymore, but it does mean that I will have the opportunity to do some machine-built ones. Now, when I talk about machine-built stuff, what immediately springs to mind for me, and what I would really like to do, and what I hope that you guys would really like to ride as well, is some machine trails that for me I think of like Airline and Dirt Merchant. So how do I describe this? Everything on there is tables, or everything on those two tracks are tables. They haven't really got any gap jumps in there, but they're big tables, and what they do with their machine is they'll tend to do one lip that is married up with the table. It's kind of as it's all one part, and then they'll set another lip a little bit further back, and that might have more of a steeper tranny, and it can make the jump up to sort of like 10 foot bigger. So where you've got those dual transitions and basically two takeoffs, that's kind of like the first of the machine tracks that I want to build. You know, if I am going to get a machine involved, why not do it's almost like building two tracks in one, isn't it? If it's got two transitions, one bigger, one smaller, then yeah, it's two tracks in one. You get almost, or you get to ride it first of all using the normal transitions that are attached to the tables, and then when you get a bit more confident, you can hit it at more speed. Then you can move to the transitions that are set back a little bit. So as far as track style goes, it's still going to be me building it. I'll have some help, and then I'll have the major help of the machine. But you can still expect to see my style coming through. Granted, on this one that I'm thinking of for the first one to put in, it's probably not going to have gaps on it. In fact, it's not. I'm not going to put gaps on it. It will be tabletops on a machine built track. So, I mean, that does allow for riders who are just getting into it, or just experiencing that kind of track, to not have to worry too much. There's going to be that case pad on the top of the tabletop, but at the same time, for the riders that are already experienced and are already doing gap jumps and things, and doing things like Electric Landlady, they'll be able to use the second transition and really kind of boot it and give it some airtime. So I suppose that brings me into tracks like Electric Landlady. So I will probably continue and finish off Beggars Canyon, which will have large gaps on it, and then for a little while of building at least maybe a couple of the newer tracks. I'll do them with machines, and I probably won't put gaps in them. We'll make them kind of inspired by Whistler and that style of riding, you know, your Dirt Merchants and Airlines. I mean, in itself, to be even thinking about getting a machine and doing those kind of tracks and stuff is a huge change. I worked my little tiny cheap second-hand ancient thing, I worked it into the ground, and couldn't afford to buy another one. But yeah, this would be a posh, bigger than the last one, probably about 3 tons or so. Small enough to fit in between the trees, but big enough to be able to do work quickly with. You know, it's still going to be me running the place, it's still going to be me building. It's just that I'm going to have some help. Obviously, there's things like the entrance road in, which for the longest time I've just been like, wouldn't it be amazing to tarmac that and just have it fixed and sorted? And that was one of the very, very first things that I discussed with these gentlemen that I am now negotiating and involved with. And to give you some idea of the scale of it, that conversation was probably less than 5 minutes long. It was just straight up, yeah, okay. Like a real big thing to me. I really just wanted that fixed and sorted, and figured I was going to have to kind of, you know, it's not cheap to do. It really isn't cheap to do. And I figured I was going to have to push really hard on that, and keep sort of saying about how important it was and how nice it would be just to be able to, anybody's driving skill, anybody's level of experience of driving could just go, yeah, no worries, and drive straight up. I thought I was going to push hard on that. As I say, the conversation was about 5 minutes long. So ultimately, I hope you can understand why I've been a bit quiet making these kinds of videos, etc., and I suppose why I've been slightly quieter on the social media front as well. As I say, at the moment, apart from days like today where I'm coming up to prep for the opening for the Christmas ride, I mean, that's also the other reason behind having to close down for a few weeks over winter, just because I've got to focus on this at the moment, and I'm just not able to spend every day up here actually opening the blooming place whilst I've got all this other stuff going on. But yeah, it's sort of a semi apology for not uploading videos and being quiet on that front, but at the same time it's to try and get you to understand why. It's not that I'm just like, oh, I can't be bothered. It's not the case at all. We're very, very busy with other things. But yeah, again, I've probably rambled a lot in this video, and you know, there's a lot of it that I can't really talk about right now, and I hope you understand why I can't talk about it. It's you know, early days in negotiations, and there's still things that we're figuring out and stuff that we're trying to organise. So it's not right. It's certainly not right to name the people, and it's not right to talk too much about it. But at the same time, it doesn't feel right not to keep you guys somewhat updated to the best of my abilities. So yeah, hence this video today. Anyway, I do need to go. I need to grab some more stuff from the cabin and do a little bit more across the tracks before we can get this Christmas ride underway tomorrow. And I'll leave it here for now, and I'll hopefully catch you on the Christmas ride. If not, I'll catch up with you shortly. See you soon.